Hi everybody, welcome to Saturday Live at the Backyard Bird Center. One of the things I get accused of for many years is having too many choices. And I have some people that come in the shop and they say, I want bird seed. And that's a very narrow description of what we do. So, and then of course, I try to educate. That's like key to what we do here is to teach people and educate people. And then there's some that just want to know why so many choices. So I thought I might do a video today on that. And that, why do I offer so many choices? Well, number one, if you're in retail, you have lots of different customers who have lots of different preferences. So offering up choices helps you ensure that you're going to make somebody happy, that's for sure. So, but in the birdseed world, there's usually, if there is a one-size-fits-all, it's basically sunflower. That's the favorite seed of a lot of birds, but that doesn't always work for everybody. So a lot of what we offer up are variations on sunflower, and then all the other seeds after that. So I'm going to pan around a little bit, but behind me you see nuts, peanuts, you see hulless sunflower for people who don't like waste, and then you have the finch seed, which caters to very small birds. And then as we pan around, come with us over here, we have lots of variations on seed, just general seed mixes. Now, I feel like it's important to present seeds in different ways and present different types of seed to get the greatest variety of birds. And that's typically most people's goal, is to get the greatest variety of birds in their yard that they can possibly get. And so we offer a wide variety of seeds that have different appeals to different birds. And so from over there from peanuts for the tree clingers, about a couple different grades of those. Ground throw, which I created to take care of the birds that prefer to feed on the ground, millet mainly, for the juncos, the white-throated sparrows, white-crowned sparrows, guys like that. And then finch mix, which is for goldfinches. And the reason why finches have their own feeder, in the origin of bird feeding, we found that goldfinches were timid birds and they tend to get chased off by bigger birds and run them off. So a lot of people have a standalone or two or three, like me at my yard, 5 goldfinch feeders that feed a mixture of very small seed which caters to them. Now, that little tiny seed is not going to work well for a cardinal. And the bird feeding, they tend to favor a mix. And we have lots of different mixes, and again, that's partially personal preference. Some of our mixes are very low waste mixes where there's not a lot of holes, because some people don't want a bunch of holes on the ground underneath their feeders. Some are really have a lot of waste in them that people don't mind, but they have a lot of variety. Like fruit and berry has a lot of fruit in it. Some people love the fruit. I'm not crazy about the fruit, but some people are. So the fruit and berry sells to the crowd that likes that. One of my favorite blends is the woodpecker chickadee nuthatch mix, which is very heavy in nuts, because nuts, peanuts, tree nuts, those are very high reward foods for birds. High in oil, high in fat, which converts to energy very quickly for them here, especially in the winter months. So I like a nut heavy mix in my open tray where most of my birds can get to. And then we have our absolute no waste blends, things like zero waste fruit blend and deck porch and patio, which have no holes. That bag's 100% food, so everything in that bag is edible, versus another bag like this where it's about 60% waste because of the holes that are inside of it. So value and perceived value vary for you. It's just, again, that's a preference of what you're wanting, what your goal is in feeding birds. But a variety is so important, and then you settle in on what you like. I mean, I have people that are so dedicated to nut and berry. It's our #1 seller. It's a low waste seed. It has a little bit of fruit in it, but not a lot. It has some nuts in it, but not a lot, etc. So it's a good variety blend, and that appeals to a lot of people. Again, I'm going to go back to the very first seed I talked about. If you want to keep it as simple as possible, you want to feed the most amount of birds without the variety, without having to pick up several different bags or mixes, black oil sunflower seed is by far your best choice. More birds like this seed than any other type. It's got a soft seed coat, so even small birds can crack it open. It's got a big enough heart in it, so even cardinals and larger birds find it rewarding. It is high in oil, and thus the name, black oil sunflower. So this is simple. Now, there's lots of ways to it, but most good blends have a lot of black oil sunflower in it. My Boardwalk blend has over 60% in it. So get this back over to my producer today. So lots of choices in the bird seed. Remember, stay away from the junk seeds. I had a guy here the other day that said, I don't understand why the birds, I put out all this corn and the birds don't like it. Every seed test, every study that's ever been done on seed preferences, corn is way down on the preference list. Mourning doves mainly. Maybe the Blue Jays like it a little bit, but for the most part, it gets ignored in seed tests where they have all the different choices of seed out there for them. Corn is way down there. Things like Milo are heavyweight junk fillers. We don't have any Milo in my store. They don't have it. Well, and people say, well, my mourning doves eat it. Well, remember, mourning doves will eat anything. They're the vacuum cleaners of the bird world. And they tend to clean up the weight that's on the ground there underneath your feeders. So it's up to you what you like. Remember, you cater your bird feeder station to your preferences and the birds that you're trying to attract. If you don't want a lot of waste, if you know, whatever you like, that's why I have so many choices, so you can have the choices and cater or get your bird feeding station just the way you want it with your feeders and your seed choices. So that was a really good question. That is a topic I don't know if I've ever addressed before. So thanks for the idea for the program. Please send in more ideas. If you give us a like, give us a share, you know what, a good review on Google or Facebook helps us out, helps people know about us. That's always great. So thank you for tuning in. Until then, next week, come by, let's talk birds.